Does power and Tremulous belong with only one group? In this episode, I will look at the structure of the Mercenaries Guild, their control over key aspects of the game, and share excerpts of an interview I had with a member of their guild. This is Inside the Mercenaries Guild. I've broken down the power structure of the guild into two distinct groups, the inner circle and the outer circle. The inner circle consists of members of the guild who are on the Tremulous 1.2 development team, Kalsa, Ben Machine, and Lakido. The outer circle consists of members of the guild who are moderators on the Tremulous forums, IRC operators, or both. These members are David, Rockyante, Kevlarman, and Tuple. I've made this chart which has broken down what I think are the three most important areas of development. You have the actual developers themselves who do the work behind the scenes. Then you have the testing that goes on the servers, and you also have the feedback that are on the forums and IRC to find out if those changes the developers made are good or not. Now you look at the developers, you have three of them who are MG members. You look at the testing that goes on, they've taken place in the last few years either in the MG development servers or on the 1.2 beta client, which has official servers hosted by an MG developer. Now look at the feedback, which mostly takes place on the forums or IRC. The four moderators, four of them are Mercenaries Guild, and you look at the IRC operators, you have 5 that are Mercenaries Guild. Now by examining this, you start to get a very clear picture of what the different groups within MG do. The outer circle mostly deals with the feedback. They try to control the information that goes in and out, and so that's why you notice that David and Tuple are the ones doing a lot of the talking, and you don't really hear too much from the developers like Kalsa or Lakido. Now, the inner circle, their job definitely is within the development side. They represent the biggest group within the development team. And also, you look on the new 1.2 beta client, the visual server where all the testing goes on is hosted by an MG developer. And you look even further back during the 1.1 when testing went on there, the 1.2 development server that was also hosted by the Mercenaries Guild. Now, if you look on the forums like I did, I've actually seen MG acknowledge that they're doing things behind the scenes, but they're combating with humor though. They're trying to say what they're doing is just for the good of the game. It's nothing conspiracy or anything. And they're combating with humor. You look at Tuple's post here that I posted an example. He goes like, my membership in the Illuminati is little more than further proof and blah blah blah. So they're trying to combat it with humor. And like all this so far, it just reminds me of a quote by Gandhi when he's talking about the British. He's like, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, and then they fight you. At first, I think everyone's been saying MG's basically been ignoring the community with their different suggestions on what to do with the 1.2. And now they're laughing at us because we know they're doing things behind the scenes their own way. They're doing what they want. So I guess that means the next steps they're going to fight us, and what that is going to entail, I'm not sure. I guess one way they could be fighting us is with their whole official servers, featured servers thing, so the people that were against 1.2 and who are server owners won't get a featured server. And I think everyone knows the example of someone who's been fighting MG lately who owns a prominent 1.1 server. I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But going back, there's another example here I'm posting of David. He's also acknowledging that the rumors, at least, and he's trying to downplay him, saying the devs have full control, MG has none. Well, like I said earlier, who are the devs? The biggest group of the development team is MG. So I guess without realizing it, he's basically admitting that MG does have control over 1.2, and I just thought that was pretty funny. Alright, now you look on the Mercenaries Guild website. The first 2 images you see at the top of the website, you have Welcome to MG, and you have 2 Egyptians dancing with each other. And you also have a naked guy pouring water. Now I'm going to go back to the Egyptians for a second. You know all the conspiracy theories about the Illuminati and Freemasons or whatever? Like on the dollar bill you have the all-seeing eye with the pyramid and stuff, and people connect that to the Freemasonry or whatever. But you look at it, the Egyptian Eye of Horus, that's been linked to the all-seeing eye. And Egyptians on the main page, could that be linked to all-seeing eye / Illuminati type thing? I guess that's for you guys to decide. What's even more interesting, you look at another images down the mid left of the webpage, you have 2 interlocking C's forming an MG symbol. And no one's been able to give me a clearer answer on what that means, but that's just another very suspicious looking image. The only guess I've been able to come with is that it means command and conquer or something along those lines. Alright, now if you're saying I'm just looking too much into nothing, take a look at the oppressed, and I'm going to show you the exact same chart just with oppressed involvement into the Tremulous development. They have no developers, they had no testing servers, and they had no moderators or IRC operators for feedback control. So to say that it's just that MG's been around for a while, so they've slowly been able to get in naturally into the development phase of the game, I don't think you could say that. Look at oppressed. Just around just as long, they're just as experienced, and they're totally not involved at all. Alright, I did say I was able to talk to a Mercenaries Guild member, and that's correct, but during the time of our recorded interview, he was willing to divulge no information at all, and let's take a listen at an excerpt from that. Which of the members of MG were also developers on the development team?
Bin Machine, Kalsa, and Lek.
And did they discuss updates with other members of the Mercenaries Guild?
Yes, they also discussed it with the rest of the Tremulous community.
Did they discuss the information first with Mercenaries Guild members?
No.
You think the fact that Tremulous 1.2 has been given the nickname of MG mod a fair accusation to make?
No.
But what about the fact that Mercenaries Guild members play such a key role in the development of 1.2? Do you think that's a fair accusation to make that Tremulous 1.2 should be called MG mod?
No.
Sir, do you have a brain?
No.
And besides your mom and dad, can you name 3 people you would never disobey?
Bin Machine, Kalsa, and Lek.
Alright, that was just an excerpt from an interview I had with an MG member who's not a member of the inner or the outer circle, just a regular member of the group. And I think you got a very clear picture from that even though he wasn't willing to divulge any information, you can just kind of see the kind of control that the Mercenaries Guild has over him. And if you bring that kind of control into Tremulous, you're just really asking for trouble. So I'm glad there's starting to be a movement to start countering some of the things they have to say. Hope everybody was able to learn a little something from this episode. In a future episode, I'll be doing on how Mercenaries Guild actually got into power, because that's a very interesting story to get into as well. But for now, I'm Tpainsaw from the Tremulous Toolshed. I'm out.